Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining in and checking out my channel. My name is Johnny Alchemy from johnnyalchemytarot.com. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to do a general energy reading for the month of January to see where we're at emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, as well as to look into whatever messages the cards may have to see how to balance all those energies together. This is going to be a general reading, so some messages may resonate with you. Take that as your wisdom and guidance. Anything that doesn't resonate with you is probably a message for someone else. And above all else, you can also pick another stack to see if that works out better for you as well. My personal style of tarot card reading is based on raising awareness, personal development, and above all else, transforming ourselves from mindfulness and healing. So I hope that sounds good to you. Thank you so much for your openness and understanding. So let's move on to the piles and see which one resonates with you. Okay guys, so we have the 4 piles here for you to choose from. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. I would suggest taking a moment now to pause the video, to take a few deep breaths, center yourself, and then choose the pile that resonates with you the most. After that, go down to the description box below, click on the corresponding timestamp, and I will meet you there for your reading. Thanks so much guys, see you soon. Okay, for those of you who chose pile number 1, this reading is for you. Let's check into your current energies at this moment, as well as any advice from the universe to bring everything into balance. Okay, 3 pentacles already. Love it. Lots of balance and possible groundedness. Okay, and more pentacles. Cool. Let's see. I'll leave these face down for now. Okay. So as I said, there's a lot of pentacles here. Okay, so let's talk about the first card that I see here. We got the 8 of Pentacles right here. 8 of Pentacles. So you can see this man, he's kind of working on creating all these pentacles in repetition of one another. Kind of being able to hone his craft, to gain a certain mastery, and also to increase a certain quality of what he does at this current moment. So there's something here telling me that in terms of this could be something with your job or your business or side hustle, whatever it may be. But if you've been really trying to focus in on trying to increase the quality of your life, the quality of your work, whatever it is that you're trying to have results in, that you may start feeling a lot of this abundance. I say that because, again, there are a lot of pentacles here. There's a lot of coins showing that it's almost raining down on you, if you will, almost like a blessing from the universe. So he does this, and this could even just be your personal wellness and health as well. So if you've just been focusing on yourself, your quality of work, trying to gain a lot of money or material wealth, or even just your personal health or well-being, just trying to do all those physical things, trying to provide for yourself on the physical material plane, that you're going to start seeing the results from it, starting to experience a lot of this abundance. I say that again because of the 6 of Pentacles right next to it, especially right in the center of this whole spread. It shows the balancing act that comes with the give and take of life. 6 of Pentacles showing that if you're starting to find yourself in a place where you have abundance or overflow in a certain sense, that you can now start sharing that with those around you, sharing it with those who are in need. This could be, loved ones, it could be friends, family, your home life, community, whatever it is. But you're starting to give back to others because you're starting to experience and accept the abundance that is around you. And again, this 6 of Pentacles, this man holds the scales in his hand, and the scales are in equilibrium. He knows that there's a give and take in life. There's always a balancing act to be made. So when you have abundance and everything is tipping on your side, you understand that now is the time that you are able to be there for others and to give back and to allow that energy to exchange again back there into the universe, into other people's lives, into their own realities. So again, you could start experiencing all this abundance, all this wealth in a certain sense, and you're able to give back to others. And not that this is like, a past, present, future type of reading, but once you're able to do that, it shows the 3 of Pentacles here reversed. So it's saying that once you're able to give back to others, and the scales are back in equilibrium, don't overextend yourself. Don't start giving too much to others. Now is the time to make sure that scales are always even and make sure that you are taken care of just as much as they are taken care of. I say that because Three of Pentacles, it's talking about, not collaborating with other people, not working with other people at a certain moment or time, whether that be in your workplace or otherwise. So again, there's this balancing act that has to be done, going from the Three and the Six of Pentacles, that's like half and half of one another. There are always two sides to a coin, if you will. So being aware and wise to how much you have and how much you can give, how much you can take, and when to also focus on yourself and to move that energy and shift it back to taking care of yourself. Because that is one of the biggest lessons here in terms of the Six of Pentacles, and any pentacles really, or any type of energy that we have in our life, is that everything's always in flow. But in order for real abundance to be maintained, it starts from within. You have to make sure that you are okay first so that you can continue to give to others. Versus if you overextend yourself, then you're going to overexhaust yourself and then find yourself in a situation that may not be beneficial for anyone. So again, there's that wisdom here of the balance. And I could see here with all these pentacles and seeing the Six of Pentacles with that, that scales right in the middle, it shows that maybe I can't see much here in terms of advice for trying to balance all these energies out in just this first three cards. It's actually may just be an affirmation for you in terms of any work that you've been putting in. You're going to start to see the results and start to experience the abundance of it, where you can start sharing with others. And so the wisdom here is to maintain that balance, really, is to understand the give and take, and that you are part of this journey as well. So clarification for some of these cards. Let's take a look into that. Eight of Pentacles, clarifier for that is the Eight of Wands. So having two eights here, which is kind of amazing. I love that synchronicity. So this shows me that there was a lot of energy put into either your work, again with the quality of your work, or trying to gain a lot of material or financial wealth, or even just personal efforts into increasing your own health and well-being, taking care of yourself, whatever that may be, or just improving your quality of life in a certain way. So again, this tells me that there is a certain synchronicity and a certain congruent path that you may have taken, and that this whole thing has been a smooth transition for you. Everything has been working into place, and now is the time that there's, again, a certain equality here as well in terms of that balancing act. There's going to be an equal exchange from your efforts, and you'll start seeing the abundance from it, seeing all the work starting to pay off. So again, the equilibrium showing here with the two eights, a certain balance as well. To clarify that Six of Pentacles here, we got the Queen of Pentacles, another pentacle. Love it. So many pentacles. So pentacles being earth energy. Earth energy is all about being grounded and stable and secure in the most positive aspects of itself. So here, the Queen of Pentacles is very much similar to this balancing act of the Six of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is, able to be, a working mom and also a mother of the household. She's able to be a sister and a mother. She's able to fit all these roles and to balance out all these different hats that she has to put on throughout her life. So again, she's kind of like that working mother archetype, the one who's able to be a mother and also a provider. So she is able to, again, also give to others and also be able to take time for herself to make sure that she is strong and taken care of, so that she can continue to give to others. So here as a clarifier, again, as I said with that message of the Six of Pentacles, it's that balancing act, being able to take care of yourself and others, all that other good stuff. So there's a lot of wisdom here in terms of that, and a lot of terms of clarification. This is almost saying the same exact thing, the lesson to be learned of this card with the Six of Pentacles. Remember to always take care of yourself so that you can continue taking care of other people and those around you. And again, that also works well with this Three of Pentacles to, when to hold back that energy. So to clarify that Three of Pentacles, we got the Emperor, also the Emperor. So the Emperor being the one who is in charge, this is almost saying that you are the one who is in charge of your energetic exchanges as well. You are the one who is in charge of your life and how you spend that energy, how you spend your efforts, all that other good stuff. So this is saying to me that, when you do find yourself overextending, or you feel that you've given enough in terms of your abundance with other people, is you are in the seat of power to say, okay, now is the time for me to shift that energy back into myself, to bring myself back up so I can continue doing that to for those who I love. So that's a wonderful thing to see here, because, this is ultimately learning this balance. You are putting yourself in a good state of power and control over your own life, over how it is that you want to spend your energy, and how you can ultimately affect those around you and help those who you love in your current surroundings. And it's funny here, again, as I said, there's this balance with the 2 8s. There's also a balance here with the Queen of Pentacles and Emperor. Queen of Pentacles is very much like that Empress energy, so it's kind of this masculine and feminine type of energy being balanced as well. Again, masculine in terms of doing and giving and doing action, using your willpower, using your energy. And then you have the Queen, which is able to just be and to accept and to be receptive and to just listen, learn, and observe. So there's another balancing act here in terms of your energies, where you may be in proper alignment, to really make a lot of things happen and to manifest a lot of good things for those around you with the current abundance you may be experiencing right now. So there's a lot of great, I think there's a lot of great messages here. Again, there's not a lot of advice in terms of how to bring this energy together, because it shows that you may already be in a very balanced state of mind right now, which is very great from past efforts that you've done. And ultimately, you know how to do that give and take already, of doing and giving, this masculine Emperor energy, and also receiving and taking care of yourself, that Queen of Pentacles energy. So I think there's a lot of beautiful things. Again, a lot of Pentacles, majority Pentacles. So it seems like you're embodying this type of being grounded, being like the rock for other people, being like nature, to just be still and to grow and to have abundance, have everything grow around you. So a lot of beautiful energy here, a lot of good signs and messages that I see, at least. Let's move on and see, let's look at some oracle cards and see what they have to say. Okay, well. Okay, so as I said, in terms of giving back to others, we got the community card right here. Again, community, whatever that means to you. It could be just your friend group. It could be your family. It could be literally your community in your town, whatever that is. Also, whatever it is that you consider home, whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever that is. But being able to give back to those around you. It could be an important thing to you right now. It could be something that is an opportunity for you at this current moment. Again, to share with those around you. Looking here at that Six of Pentacles right in the middle of this whole spread. Being able to give back to your community. I think it could be a very big opportunity for you to do so if that is important to you. And so, it's kind of like understanding also how your community, whatever that is, family, friends, whatever, how they support you or how they have supported you in the past. And now that if you are experiencing some type of abundance, how can you give that back to them? How can you show them, love and support from your end as well? Again, our relationships need balance too. So there's also that give and take of that energy that may be an opportunity for you at this current moment. And also, as I said, a lot of focus on self-care too, and making sure the energies are always focused mainly on you, and so that you can continue to give to others. Yin. Talking about that divine feminine energy. As I said, there's a balance of this masculine and feminine energy. I think the yin energy, this feminine, is the key to all of it, is to make sure that you are okay first, that you're able to focus on yourself, focus on your self-care, to be receptive, to listen and observe to your surroundings and your body, whatever it may be experiencing, so that you can be intuitive enough to know when you are overextending, to know when you are overgiving, and to keep those scales always in equilibrium, always in balance. So I think there's, in terms of really sustaining this abundance and making sure that it's taken care of and that you can continue to do this, it focuses a lot on that yin energy, about making sure that you are always a part of this equation in terms of your give and takes as well. So that's really wonderful. A lot of synchronicity there. I love that. And so let's look at the word of wisdom, serenity. Okay, serenity. So serenity, all of this comes down to in terms of when everything is in balance, when things are really great, when your life is in balance, you're able to give to other people, you are cultivating a sense of serenity. Serenity is something that, that is a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's something that we have to accept in our lives. It's not something that if we chase it continually, we're saying that we're never serene, So you have to, by doing this balancing act, you are creating this serenity because, number one, it starts from yourself. And then ultimately, when you have an overflow of this serenity, you can start spreading that to other people to make sure that they are okay, they are all right. And now the serenity is not just based only on you, it's based on your whole surroundings and your atmosphere, in your relationships, in your environment, whatever that may be. So again, the serenity stems from within, and it's able to radiate out of you to affect other people. So again, this balancing act, I think balance, is a very, very, very big key in terms of creating serenity, both in our financial and physical aspects, but also, again, with how we use our energy in that masculine and feminine sense of doing and receiving. So a lot of great things here. I think there's a lot of, not really much advice, honestly. It seems like more of an affirmation that there's a lot of abundance either you can experience now or that is coming your way, that you're going to be able to start giving to others. And again, to start cultivating a sense of serenity with your community and with yourself. And to have a lot of good with all of these energetic exchanges to be experienced between all of that. So, a wonderful reading. Again, not much advice. I think, again, more affirmation than anything else. So I think this is a really great reading for all of you in Pile 1. I hope this did resonate with you. If you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe so we can stay in touch. And also to click that notification bell to stay in touch for future videos. So thank you again for allowing me to read your cards. I'm wishing you the best. A lot of great luck here for you as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, for those of you who chose pile number 2, this reading is for you. Let's look into your current energies at this moment, as well as any advice to bring everything together. Let's see. Okay, and then we'll leave these face down. Okay, so, looking at the first 3 cards that I pulled, there's already a lot of big things going on, all major arcana. So big life lessons to be learned at this current moment, or big energies to be felt, rather. The first one right in the center of everything, we got the Tower card right here. So you may be going through a certain upheaval process where things just might have changed very suddenly, very unexpectedly, almost very surprisingly. So you may feel off kilter. You may feel very much taken back by how things have turned out. Sometimes things happen in life. Life throws us a curveball. Things change. And it's not always the easiest thing to adapt and be willing to accept in our life at certain moments. It could be possibly a breakup. I say that because we also got the Lovers card reversed here. So very similar to this King and Queen who are falling out from this tower right here. We also have the Lovers card reversed, almost as if they're in this falling position as well. So if any of you have gone through a certain breakup of some kind, or any type of disconnection from any type of relationship that you've had in your life that was once loving or once something that you held very dear, it could be it could be very much related to that. We also have the Magician card here reversed. If this person was not the most honest of people, if they were kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will, if this person had a hard time really telling their truth and being genuine with who they are, telling their piece, and to being very upfront with what they wanted or what their needs were, this person may not have been the most honest. He could have been the one who caused a lot of the problems, either ended the relationship because he had ulterior motives, or if you ended the relationship because you found out something that he'd done, something behind all of his actions or his words that just were not lining up. So again, this person, with the Magician reversed, it's not, it's a genderless, all these cards are genderless really. So it could be man, woman, whatever your partner may have been in the past. So, this could have added a lot of trouble for you. Could have caused a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of sudden things to just happen in your life where it just is, you may still be dealing with them at this current moment. One of the things here I see as well with the Lovers card reversed and the Magician card reversed. Lovers card reversed, other than just saying, a possible breakup or how the relationship is unrequited or not working out, it also talks about self-love as well. In terms of trying to reconnect, ultimately, all of this is about reconnecting with yourself and understanding and cultivating that love from within once more. There are times we can put our love out there and feel ready to have a relationship, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes we get matched up with the wrong person, and that happens. That's the game of love, isn't it, right? So we take our chances, we take the risk, but ultimately, when things don't work out, we have to regenerate. We have to heal. We have to heal our hearts. We have to emotionally make sure that we're okay from all of this. Because, when it comes down to it, the Tower card is one of the more uncomfortable and scary cards of the tarot for most people. I mean, just by looking at the imagery alone, I mean, look at it. It's a little dramatic, right? You have this tower being destroyed by like an act of God or nature, being destroyed by this lightning bolt. And you have these two people falling from it. So, this is saying that, sometimes the universe has to destroy things that are in our life that are not meant to be there. Let's say if it was a relationship for you, this relationship was that tower. It was your stability. It was the thing that you built up with this person. But if it was something false, if it was something that was ultimately going to hurt you or not, be beneficial for you, that kind of stunts your power of manifestation, that blocks you from creating a reality that is true and in alignment with what you want, then the universe kind of has to step in and do this process to destroy it, because it's not meant for you ultimately. And if it didn't do that, maybe you wouldn't have found out the lies. Maybe you wouldn't have found out who this person really was or how he would have treated you down the line. So here, ultimately the Tower card is a very, unnerving card to get, but at the same time, that's the wisdom of it, is the fact that the universe is doing this for us sometimes, not to us. It may not seem it that way at this current moment, if this is something that does resonate with you, but it does this for our better good, to help us in our future and to not be stuck with situations that may not be good for us in the long run. So keep that in mind, feel what you feel, go through the emotions. That's the biggest thing. Honor your feelings, honor your heart, honor your emotions. But yeah, understand that there's a purpose behind everything, that there's a purpose behind the pain that we go through sometimes. So let's look at some of the clarification cards underneath here. So underneath the Tower card, we got the King of Wands right here. I think very similar to that Magician card reversed. I say that because right next to the King of Wands, we also got the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords on the left and right of him. So again, regardless of gender, it's almost as if, this person was in a certain power position and he was able to choose between two options. Having all of these court cards, it shows that there's maybe a lot of people involved. Maybe there were a few parties involved in this. If you were dealing with a fire sign of some kind, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, whatever it may be, and they put themselves in a position of power in the relationship, or maybe they weren't being honest. Maybe they had the choice between either the Page of Swords or the Page of Pentacles right here. Maybe they had the choice to choose between one of those two options. If you are a Gemini or an air sign of some kind with Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, because this card, the Page of Swords, is right underneath that Lover's card reversed. If that is your sign, an air sign, maybe he chose to leave the relationship for someone else. This Page of Pentacles, right here, it's like he put himself in a position of power where he let himself have all the choices. He let himself have all the power in the relationship. And maybe he didn't treat you right. Maybe he chose you as something like, as any person really in any relationship, as disposable, something to just help him, and then ultimately move on when he feels like there's nothing else to be gained or nothing else to be attained from the relationship or that person. So again, this kind of charlatan type of person, someone who puts on the facade of being this really great person, but ultimately is for ulterior motives, is to bring themselves up only so that they can feel like they're in power and have all the choices in the relationship. So here, it's very interesting to see, especially with all these Lovers cards and to see all these Court cards, all the different types of people possibly involved. And I say that again because looking at this, I wish I could, okay, let me put it this way. So this is how it's positioned here in terms of, you have this person who acts a certain way, who's not forthcoming. And then you also have, he puts himself in this position of power right here. And both of these cards are looking at this new person, this Page of Pentacles here. So this person may have moved on to like someone else, let's say that to an earth sign of some kind. So it could be Taurus, it could be, Virgo. and also Capricorn. So it could move on to someone possibly with one of those signs as well. This is all pointing down and looking toward this one person. So ultimately, it's this person may have just kind of left you in the wind and kind of upturned and kind of like flipped your world upside down, if you will, and ultimately just didn't treat you correctly. But understand that's on him, and that there's a thing called karma, and that karma does not forget. Karma keeps track of things. It understands what people do, and that ultimately people's karma comes back to them in so many ways. So understand that if you were left behind, if there was a certain relationship that didn't work out and this person turned out to be a real a-hole, don't worry about it. I mean, again, this is ultimately for your better good, to understand that, hey, you realize he was not the greatest person, probably a horrible person, didn't treat you right. You don't want that type of energy in your life. You don't need that type of person in your life. You don't need anyone who's willing to treat you that way, because again, it's about learning to find that self-love once more from within, to build yourself back up in a way that is more beneficial and that is more real from your experiences that you've learned. So let's move on. Let's look on to some of the oracle cards right here, and also some of the words of wisdom. Okay, look at this. Okay, so time to go. Time to go. Goodbye. That's it. Time to go into the sea. I mean, that kind of forms a sentence. Time to go to the sea. Time to go to the sea right here. So it's almost saying, this relationship, if it didn't work out, time to go. Leave it in the past. Leave it there. It's not meant for you. And for the better, it's not meant for you for the better. Understand that this person, he will get what's coming to him, because that's just how the universe works. So and so feel all right in that, and just focus on yourself. Time to go. Leave it in the past. And it says to the sea. Go to the sea of your emotions. Heal your heart, heal your emotions. That's what this is telling me right here, in terms of time to go to the sea. Go and fix yourself emotionally, because after any type of breakup, if this does resonate with you, if something similar like this did happen, that's very hard to deal with, and you are allowed to have all this emotion and these feelings and these thoughts and opinions about what happened, but you have to learn to release that back into the universe. You have to let that go from your heart. Don't allow it to block up your emotions or your energy. Allow it to flow out of you. Have that cathartic moment. Cry, talk to someone, journal, whatever it is. Release that emotion, frustration, anger, whatever it is. Get it out of your system, because that person created something toxic within you that you might be carrying. So release it, because it's not your burden to carry. It's not. It's their burden to carry. So release it down into the universe. It's not something that you have to deal with in your life. So I think that's one of the biggest healing advice here that I can see in terms of love, is to ultimately heal your heart from any type of discomfort or pain or trauma you might have gone through, and learn that it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go and to focus on the sea of your emotions, your heart center, everything like that. And so ultimately, it leads to a miracle. Almost I can see here, time to go to the sea, and then I can almost see this as like a sunrise, like a new day, if you will. So almost like, you sit on the beach and you look at the ocean, and you have that moment where you're just able to be with yourself and to be with your emotions, to get back in touch with them, and to sit there in peace, and to learn to let things go out into the universe. And you wait for that new sunrise. You wait for that new day to dawn, because it's going to come. It always comes. Time moves us forward regardless of whatever we feel, whatever we are going through. Time continues on regardless. So again, find that, connect back with your emotions. Sit there on that figurative beach, if you will, and just sit there with your emotions and allow yourself to heal. Give yourself the time, give yourself the space and the energy to do so, and wait for that new sunrise, because it is coming. And that will be your miracle. The fact that you have been able to let go of a person and to focus back that energy on yourself and your healing, to move on to something new, to something better, and to not hold on to that toxicity, to not hold on to that drama or that baggage anymore. Allow yourself the time to wait for that new dawn to happen, for that miracle to present itself, because it'll happen. Time moves us forward. It's going to move us forward always. So if this, I could see a lot of things happening here. Again, all those major arcana in that first row with the Magician and the Lovers and the Tower. A lot of big things happening. A lot of big changes happening, whether we expected them or not. But understand, again, they're happening for us, not to us. They're meant to remove the things that are no longer in alignment with us or our ultimate good, so that we can start creating a space for a new reality, a better reality to exist in that area. So if this did resonate with you, I hope and wish you the best with everything. I wish you a lot of healing. I wish you a lot of love and self-love to be discovered within you. And also the ability to let go of any baggage, of anything that may have hurt you in the past, so that you can be all right and you could be stronger and much more happy with whatever future relationship that you may have with yourself, even, or others, whatever it may be. Hope you find happiness, whatever that may look like, feel like, or be in your life at that moment. So thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. If this did resonate with you, don't forget to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and also to click that notification bell to stay in touch for future videos. And again, I wish you the best. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much, pile 2. Bye. Okay, those of you who picked pile 3, this reading is for you. Let's check out your current energies and see what we can do to possibly gain some insight, possibly balance everything out, all that good stuff. Let's see. Majority court cards, okay? Leave those face down. Okay, so as I said, there's a lot of court cards here, so possibly a lot of different people or personalities that you may be dealing with at this current moment. Let's move on to the center card right here. We got the Empress card reversed. So right in the center, you may have a certain choice to be made. I say that because on either side of you, you actually have the King of Wands and the King of Cups on either side of you. So there's possibly a decision to be made between these two parties. It could be something with love, as you can see with the Empress. You know, we have this heart here with the symbol of Venus, symbolizing love. Or it could be any type of relationship coming into your life. It could be even something with business. It could be someone who you are going to collaborate with in a certain way. So there's something here, there's a certain choice of this relationship that's coming in. You, as I said, you have that King of Wands. So possibly someone, maybe a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And you also have complete opposite. You got the King of Cups right here. So you have Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So it could be romantic, could be business, or just someone in general coming into your life. So looking at these two, just having so many court cards, I mean, this could be something with a lot with relationships. So looking at these two options, you may be more drawn to this King of Cups energy, this type of person. This person may seem a lot more emotionally mature. He may be able to be in touch with his emotions in a certain sense and to express himself very easily, as well as engage in very kind of deep conversations. So this is someone, again, he looks very stable in these choppy waters of the sea. He's able to be in the sea of his emotions, but to be very stable. So it could be very alluring, it could be something very mysterious too behind this person. A lot of water signs, they have that mystery behind them, that artistic type, kind of deep mystery with them. You may not be drawn so much to this fire sign, this Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, in the reverse, this King of Wands. This person may not be as attractive, may not be as magnetizing as the other option. They may not also seem as confident or self-assured in themselves as well. They may not be as charismatic or flirty. They may seem stable. They may seem like in a position of power, but they don't really exude that type of confidence or self-assuredness, if you will. So you may not be as attracted to that person in general versus that King of Cups energy. So you have a certain choice to be made. I mean, whether this be, if this is something romantic, I mean, you may want to consider both, obviously. You may want to go with your gut feeling, or you may want to, obviously consider something because you are more drawn to this King of Cups energy. If this is something with business, I mean, it's understandable that if you want to collaborate with someone or to want to create a certain partnership of some kind, you want someone who is strong in their emotions, and you don't want someone who is not necessarily confident or self-assured in themselves or their abilities. So there's stuff to consider. There are pros and cons to be weighed in this option. So in terms of that balancing act, there's something there in itself. So let's look into some clarification for each of the cards and see what is going on. So it's in this right underneath the Empress card, you actually have the King of Cups again, but in the reversed. So King of Cups reversed, underneath the underneath what you may be feeling or what you may be considering with this decision to be made. You may feel a little bit swayed by your emotions, if you will. If this is something romantic, you may have your emotions getting the best of you in a certain way. Versus doing something that could be a little bit more practical or something more grounded or level-headed, if you will. You may be very taken up with this King of Cups energy type of person. You may be swept away with this emotion. You may be a very smooth talker, if you will. And you may not, you may lose control over being around this person also. So there's something here which is telling me that you may be very emotionally drawn to this King of Cups person versus the fire sign. Again, you may have to use a little bit more intuition. You may have to ground your feelings in a certain sense. When emotions get the best of us, that means we go into dream world, we go into fantasy land. We can think the best of everything and think everything is great. But too much water energy causes that illusion. It causes that kind of thin veil of that kind of hides the truth of everything, hides the reality. So that's something to consider here in terms of your feelings and your emotional aspects in terms of making this decision. You can feel very drawn to it emotionally, but use your intuition too. Your intuition is that water energy. So if you have any type of intuitive hits that are saying, not all that glitters is gold, take that into consideration because there may be some more things to consider in that depth of the water. I say that because underneath that King of Cups, we have the Magician card reversed right here. I got this card in my other deck in one of the other piles, but this King of Cups person that you may be drawn to initially, he may not be exactly what you think he is. He may be putting on that show of illusions, if you will, that glamour, to kind of distract you and to make you feel safe and to disarm you in a certain sense. So be careful of that because that Magician card reverse is something telling me that this person wants to take away your power in a certain sense. He wants to disempower you, maybe for personal gain or whatever it is. But there's something here that he's not telling you. There's something here that he may not be completely honest or upfront or forthright about. So keep that in mind in terms of this King of Cups person. You may be drawn to him. He may be very good at again, with anyone in the cups and the water energy, when it's in the negative, there's things like manipulation going on there. So be careful of that. Also, that can be seen in the Magician card reverse. So be careful of being manipulated emotionally for that person to sway and play with your emotions, if you will. Be careful of that. Understand that there may be more going on behind him or her, whoever this person is trying to get into your life, business or romantic or otherwise. So try and understand their motives the best you can, and try and understand who they are beyond what they say. Try and do a little bit more digging with people who know this person through third parties, through personal experiences with this person, whatever it may be, to get the real truth behind what they are just saying. So let's look on the other side. We got the King of Wands right here. So underneath the King of Wands, we actually have the King of Pentacles. So this person, even though you may not be attracted to this person initially, or he may not exactly exude the attributes that you may ideally want in a person, but this person could be very beneficial for you in the long run. He can give you a certain abundance of life in terms of maybe finances, material, or even just a generally very healthy relationship. So even though, again, looks can be deceiving in both ways here. In terms of that King of Cups, as I said, it could look very good on the surface, but there could be something else going on deep within that may not be shown. Same thing on the other side too. Looks can be deceiving in terms of a person who may not seem that confident, but maybe it's just humility. Maybe it's just this person being humble, and this person actually has a lot to offer, but he's just not good at boasting or building himself up or putting himself on a pedestal. So there's certain things here that for you to consider. I mean, whether this be again, if it's romantic, you may need to look past the surface in both of these options to really dig deeper and see what they have to offer. And in terms of business wise too, having the King of Pentacles land on this King of Wands could be very beneficial for you. Even though they don't seem that confident, maybe you got to dig a little bit deeper, see what their past work is like, see who else they've collaborated with, get their opinions, get third party opinions and experiences going on as well. So that you can find like a bigger picture, a more clearer picture in terms of what it is that you will ultimately be allowing into your life. Even though this is talking a lot about relationships, having all these court cards. I mean, any relationship you have in your life is also an energetic exchange. So again, this is an energy reading, so who you allow into your life to interact in your reality and who's ultimately going to affect you, that's going to affect your energy. So you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to own that power, own that responsibility of who you're going to allow in, and to do your best to make sure it's in alignment with ultimately what you want. So there's a lot of decisions here to be made, a lot of court cards, as I said. So there's a lot of decisions here. So it could be romantic, it could be business. Regardless, there's a certain relationship decision that has to be made. So let's move on to some oracle cards and see what we have. So, fork in the road, right? Decisions to be made, fork in the road. So you have one decision or the other. You have one way to go or the other. So there's something here with these two people, or whatever it is, this decision, where you have to make one. It goes off into two different directions. So looking at this card, you may have to do a little bit of more research. You may have to look very closely down both of those paths to see what's going on deeper and further down the future for both of them. So again, do a little bit more digging, do a little bit more research, find more understanding and clarity to the situation for both options so that you can make the best decision. A leg up. So you may need a little help in terms of making this decision. Again, find those people who have interacted with these people. Find those people who are friends with them, who've had personal experiences with them, so that you can get the truth. You can get the real idea and scope of who these people are and what it is that they possibly want from you, or what it is that they are truly trying to offer or attain from trying to get in a relationship with you in some sense. So here, it's all about really finding an idea, getting a bigger understanding and a bigger scope of what's going on to find a certain clarity in all of this. So yeah, you may have to do this decision. There's a certain decision that you made, but you need to look beyond the surface, not be swayed by your emotions, because it could be easily manipulated by. I'm looking at this King of Cups again. They could have ulterior motives, so be careful. And so the word of the day is, word of wisdom, clarity. Clarity. So you need clarity for this situation. Again, if you have those intuitive hits that are going against your general emotional reactions, honor those. Pay attention to those. That's your deeper subconscious saying, let's hold up a bit. Let's figure this out. Let's find some clarity before making a decision, or already making a decision in our head about what is best for us. Because maybe all the information is not being shown to us at this current moment. Maybe not everything is the truth, or maybe not everything is out on the table for us to make a well-informed decision. So again, if this is romantic or if this is business or otherwise, you have two very distinct options to be made, a lot of digging to do, a lot of research to be done. So use those resources. Understand that, again, whoever you choose to allow in your life, that's an energetic exchange. That's going to ultimately affect you in some type of way. And we have to be accountable and responsible for that. So keep that in mind in terms of trying to balance this out. I mean, in terms of an energetic reading, I think that's the biggest thing to really understand is we are responsible for what we allow in our life and who we allow in our life to affect us. So there's always going to be consequences for our actions. So keep that in mind. Understand that to dig a little deeper, to do a little bit more research, find out exactly the truth as best you can from as many different resources and as many points of view or perspectives, so that you can make really have true clarity to make the best decision for you. So this is what I see. I mean, if this did resonate with you, I mean, again, I hope you find that clarity. I hope you find whichever one of these decisions are going to ultimately give you abundance and happiness and be in proper alignment with what you want. So I hope this reading really did resonate with you. Thank you so much again for letting me read your cards. If you did like this reading, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Don't forget to also click that notification bell for future readings so we can stay in touch. And thank you so much again, guys, for allowing me to read your cards. I really appreciate that. So I will see you next time. Thanks again, Pile 3. Bye. Okay, those of you who chose Pile 4, this reading is for you. Let's take a look into your energies and see what message the universe may have for you and how to balance everything out. Let's see here. Bam. Okay, so let's start off in the middle. In the middle of this reading, we actually have the Seven of Wands reversed right here. Seven of Wands. So the energy, if you are feeling like you have been fighting an upward battle in a certain sense, if you feel like you're being always met with opposition in terms of what you're trying to achieve in life, understand that, maybe this certain approach that you may be taking may not be the best way of doing things for you at this current moment. Not to say to give up on your dreams or to give up on your ambition in any way, but to understand that there are many roads to a certain goal or whatever it is you want to be achieving in life. And sometimes, always trying to meet the opposition head on is just kind of beating your head against the wall, and it ultimately can break us down. We're all human beings. We all have feelings and emotions and can feel very passionately about what we want to achieve. And when we don't get the support that we need, or just feel like we're always getting criticized, or feel like we're always coming across obstacles or challenges, it can be very demoralizing in a certain sense. So this could be something to be very aware of, having this card right in the middle of the spread, in terms of your efforts and how you're using them, what the approaches you may be taking are, and also if they are the best approach and most effective approach towards your goals. Looking here next to that Seven of Wands, we also have the Nine of Swords reversed. Nine of Swords. So, as I said, it's when we continually meet the opposition head on, it's kind of like beating your head against the wall. If you are constantly just fighting an upward battle, it can cause a lot of stress on your mental health. Especially when it's not balanced out with the proper support systems in place. If you're not finding other people or being able to communicate with other people who can kind of balance out that opposition to give you the support and love and encouragement that you need toward your goals. So there's something here telling me, if you are constantly having to put your efforts and kind of deal with all these challenges and all this opposition and from others, it may not be the best. It may not be the best thing for you at this current moment, because honestly, if it takes a toll on your mental health, it's not something that is going to be sustainable. It's not something that will ultimately help you achieve your goals. It may just be doing a lot more harm than good. I say this because with this Nine of Swords, you have all these repeating swords here, all these repeating thoughts or criticisms from others that could be affecting you and your mental belief system. Could be affecting how you view yourself or your goals, whatever it may be. But they're repeating, they're consecutive, they are cyclical. There's a pattern here. So it's saying that these constantly nagging thoughts of doubt could start festering and start making illusions that are based in fear. So that's something to be aware of, because again, it's not to say that you shouldn't attain your goals or try for them, but again, there are many approaches and many ways to go about them, so you may have to change your approach a little bit, become adaptable, become flexible in a certain way, to allow to be clear on what it is that to be clear on your goal, and a better way of how to get there, maybe an easier way. You know, there could be a path of less resistance, if you will, that can get you there maybe a little bit longer, but it gets you there. That's the point, right? To achieve your goal. So even though there's a path that is blocked, that is much shorter by all this opposition, instead of working your way through that and working through all that resistance and challenge and conflict, maybe find a longer path that is one that will be easier on you at least, and that will give you the time and energy and space needed to grow and to progress and to be at peace with yourself. So on this top row here also we have the Temperance card. So saying peace, this is a very peaceful looking card. This is talking about bringing again, talking about energies and balance. This is talking about your bringing your energies into balance here. This Temperance card is exactly what that means. Temperance is balance. It's able to this angel is able to mix these two cups together. These two opposing things, oil and water. Here it looks like your efforts and your mental game or your mental space right now, to mix those two together to figure out a new path for yourself, a new sense of oneness or peace. Because obviously, looking at these two cards, it looks like there's a lot of battle, there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of opposition here, both on the internal and the external. So you may have to kind of bring those two different aspects, that internal strife and that external conflict, and to kind of come to peace with them in a certain sense, so that you can move forward and be clear on exactly how to get your goal without dealing with so much opposition and criticism. So here, there's that certain balancing game. So I want to look deeper actually into the clarification cards. So let's see here. I mean, underneath the Seven of Wands right here, we have the Fool. The Fool card. I mean, talking about walking away from a certain approach toward a new one. This is what I can kind of see here with this Fool card. In terms of, you can see this Seven of Wands. This man has one wand in his hand, ready to battle off all this opposition, all these people here. But in the Fool card, it's kind of like he takes that wand and just puts his little belongings, everything that he's learned, everything that he essentially needs in his life, and kind of walks away from it. There's something here telling me that the certain approach or road that you're on may not be the best one. So now you have the opportunity with this new awareness to walk away and find a road that is more in alignment toward getting your goals in a much easier way. So the Fool card, I mean, there's ultimate potential here. Instead of having to bang your head against the wall and continually fight this upward battle, you can move on with a lot more lightness, with a lot more levity, and to kind of leave your challenges in the past behind you, so that you can look forward to more opportunities and more potential and more growth in your journey, versus trying to get the best of those who are against you. And so here we also have the Tower card. Right underneath that Temperance card is the Tower. So I actually got the Tower card in one of the other piles. But basically, the Tower card talks about big upheaval moments, big changes in your life. So in terms of looking at this, if you kind of stay on this path and you don't find, and if you continue beat your head against the wall with this with the path that you're currently on, it could lead to something like this, where you could go through a big change or a big momentous upheaval of some kind, where it could be very difficult for you to move on, very difficult for you to kind of change your mentality even. Because eventually you could just believe that you're not meant for this journey, because you're meant with so much strife and conflict, that is not that's not meant for you, that you're not able to attain it. So you have to be careful of where you put your energies, because ultimately it will affect you in a certain way. So this Tower card also could be that leaving process, that leaving this current journey that you're on, your certain approach that you've been taking. Maybe you've put a lot of energy into this way that you've been doing something. Maybe you've invested a lot of energy on this approach, where you've gained a certain amount of leverage and also a progression down this road, that it may be hard for you to turn back. It may be hard for you to take two steps back in order to move forward again. And that's understandable. We don't want to feel like we're devaluing ourselves and our efforts. But again, if it does take a mental toll on you, that's something to consider as well, because you need to be healthy and happy in order to truly move forward. Otherwise, there's consequences for everything. So this is something to really consider. And understand too, I mean, I said this with the other pile that had the tower card. You know, we build things up in our life for us that give us, security and identity. That's what this tower is. It's something that we build up in our life. But sometimes, by an act of God or the universe or nature, whatever it is, like this lightning bolt, things happen where it is just destroyed right in front of us. Where it's nothing that we can control, but it just happens. And to experience that is very troubling, it's very hard. It's hard to accept that and to adapt into those situations. But understand that those things eventually have to be taken away from us and destroyed because ultimately it's not meant for us. Sometimes the path that we choose is not the one that we need to take in order to learn the lessons we need to learn and ultimately to gain to attain the goal that we want to attain. So this is something to consider here, seeing this tower card. It is about trying to find peace in your journey because, as many people say, the dream is not the destination, it's the journey. You have to understand that this is all a learning lesson. This is a process for you. You don't find happiness at the end of the road. You learn what happiness is while you're walking the path. So there's something here to consider with this tower card in terms of learning to let go, allowing the universe to sometimes destroy what we create for ourselves in order for something new to be built that is more in alignment with what we need at this current moment. So there's something here to consider again with this tower card. It's about finding that peace within yourself, finding that peace in your journey, and it's not all about struggle. And we shouldn't have to force ourselves to struggle all the time in order to attain what we want. So let's move on. In terms of to clarify that Nine of Swords reverse, we got the Four of Cups here. So I see this card whenever I see this Four of Cups. I also see the Temperance card. As I said, this Temperance card, it's trying to mix these two different things. Here I see your energetic efforts and your mentality, trying to mix them into a new perspective, a new cup to be considered that you can use as your balance, as this oneness is formed from this process. So here in this Four of Cups, it's kind of like Temperance mixes these two, and there's this new cup here being offered to you from Spirit. That's the cup that is made from this process. But you may not be able to receive it yet until you either, number one, really reflect on everything that you've gone through and to be emotionally stable to handle it, to understand that, you have a lot of opportunities still here in front of you. It's not all going to be lost by changing your approach or changing your way of doing something. You will still have a lot of stuff to feel fulfilled about, to feel happy about, and to feel completely accomplished about. But when you are able to understand this and have that reflection process to accept that, then this new cup will be ready for you when you are ready to accept it. This will always be here, and it will be available to you by understanding this process. So again, you have to be. It's about finding that oneness, finding that balance that can really put you on the correct path, the one that we're meant to be on, in order to really bring us toward our goals. So this is what I see here. I mean, in terms of really starting a new journey, looking at this Fool card, maybe having to take two steps back to move forward, if that makes sense. You may have to reevaluate the approach you may be taking on something if it does cause you some mental grief or mental turmoil of some kind. And understand that, if you have to do that, and if this does resonate with you, it will be hard. It will be, we have to go through that tower process of letting go and letting the universe do its thing. Understandably, that's going to be something difficult to handle, but ultimately it is meant for our greater good. It is meant to put us on a path of peace and love and less struggle. We can have happiness during our journey too. It doesn't always have to be fighting against the odds. So let's look into some oracle cards to see what else we have to say, the universe will have to say. Let's see, a change in the wind. Yeah, so as I said, there's a change of direction, I guess. There's a change in the wind. So just as quickly as the wind can adapt and move, this may be something for you to consider as well. Be flexible. Understand that, we have plans. We make plans. We make objectives and everything like that. We have a certain mission in mind, but sometimes it's just not that concrete. We have to be flexible. We have to be able to change just as easily as the wind does. So in terms of a change in the wind, there could be a new direction for you to take. Follow that direction. Follow that intuitive direction possibly that you may have from this process, from that certain reflection process, shown by that Four of Cups over here. So change in the wind, new direction for you. Again, new direction, also about the Fool, a new journey. So it could be something very, very beneficial for you. And also not for you. I mean, again, if this path is not for you, this path may not be for you. It may not be, not that your goals are not for you, let's be clear about that, but maybe the way about attaining those goals is not the right one for you, you know? Just because we come across resistance doesn't mean we give up completely. We just give up the way that we're doing something to find a better path. So this may not be for you if it does not give you happiness, if it does not give you joy, if it kind of defeats the purpose, if you will, of what you're trying to do or accomplish. So be aware of that. If this is really, again, ultimately having a physical effect on you or mental effect with this Nine of Swords, if it's causing some type of manifestation on the negative, understand that there's maybe another way for you, another path. And so let's look into a word of wisdom. Word of power, peace. Okay, what did I say about, this is a path of peace. I looked right at this Temperance card right here, I think this is ultimately what is going to be offered to you in this cup here from Spirit. By getting your efforts and your mentality in alignment and putting them into a new perspective, a new cup to be experienced, that cup is the cup of peace, Our journeys, again, do not just have to be all struggle and conflict. It can be about, happiness, joy, and peace. You can be at peace at the end of the day instead of having to worry about the criticisms of others, the opposition you face, the challenges you have to overcome constantly. Maybe sometimes those are signs that this may not be the right thing for you. Again, seeing change in the wind and not for you. There's something here telling me that there's a change in direction. There's a better path. There's something that you may not be seeing at this current moment that is available to you. You just need to be aware of it and to go through that process of letting what you're doing right now at this current moment go so that you can find a path of peace toward your goals. This is what I see for you, Pile 4 people. I mean, this is something great. I think this is a really big lesson to learn because we all go through challenges. We all go through hardships on our journey. And that is something that is natural that happens in our life, anyone's life. But again, it doesn't mean that we give up. It means that there's just another path for us to discover. So that's a big wisdom for you to learn. Again, try not to take it so hard looking at this Tower card. Understand that, again, things have to be destroyed so that we can create the actual and most truest reality in its place. Things that are not meant for us have to be taken away from us so that the things that are meant for us can come in and have space for them to come in. So be adaptable, have that flexibility. There's a new change in the wind. This current path may not be for you, but ultimately you will find a path of peace from this. So I hope this does resonate with you. I wish you the best on your journey, whatever it is, and I hope you do find that path of peace. So thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to shoot me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell so we can stay in touch for future videos. So thank you again, Pile 4 people. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.